Hello, this is a video on how to play Hex. Now, Hex is a very simple game. It's easy to pick up, but it is incredibly hard to master. And just for a little bit of, I guess, a fun fact, Hex is such a complex game that researchers actually spent years with hundreds of computers trying to mathematically figure out the best way to play the game. Because look at how many hexagons we have. So there are many possibilities on how to play. Um, and another fun fact about hex is that some of the facts we know in math today, and some of the theorems, which is I guess another word for facts that are used in mathematics today, actually were found out when researchers tried to figure out how to play hex. When researchers tried to figure this out, they ended up figuring out other key important ideas in mathematics. And so it just shows from a simple board game, it's actually benefited our society a lot. So the basic objective of hex is simple. You pick a color, red or blue, and essentially you just sit here and place hexagons in this board. Now, once you're placing hexagons on this board, the first player to connect the two sides of their color wins. And so, if you have blue, if let's say I'm blue, I have to make a path connecting to the blue side. If I'm red, I have to make a path connecting to the red side. The four corner hexagons are touching both sides. So if I have a blue hexagon here, it's touching this side and it's touching this side. Same thing here for any of the corners, since there are two colors touching the corner hexagon. A hexagon in the corner is touching both colors. There is one more rule, and it's called the swap rule. And so the player who goes first is the first player. The player who goes second is the second player. And the second player can swap their first piece with the piece of the first player. So if I place a piece here, I'm red and I go first, I place a piece here. Blue can either choose to place a piece here or place a piece here or anywhere, and they can choose to swap that piece with the piece that I place. So then the blue piece would end up here and the red piece would end up there. Now, for the first few games, we'll play with the swap rule off just to really get a sense of the game. But the basic strategy of the game is simple. So the basic rules of the game are simple. And for strategy, you want to not only make bridges that connect your two sides, but while you're trying to connect your two sides, you block your opponent's bridges as well. Now, don't give up the game, but if there's an area of the board in which, let's say I'm red, and this bottom corner of the board is surrounded by blue, there's no way I can connect to the other side because I'm trapped by blue. So in that case, I would want to give up that corner of the board. So now that we have the basic rules and basic understanding, let us actually play the game. So I'm red, and I'm going to place a hexagon right there. Blue places one right there. I want to not only get to red, but also try to block blue. So I'm going to place a hexagon there. Now, I'm going to place a hexagon there, and placing a hexagon there. Now, blue is trying very hard to try to get his pieces there. And so, this is quite a strategy game. Notice how blue is doing his absolute best. And so, blue has already made a path. And so, I got outplayed there. And so, this is quite a simple game in terms of its rules, but it's quite hard given the hexagon rules. And also, one more thing I forgot to mention is you might see different board sizes with different variants. The larger the board, typically the more complex the game, because there are more possibilities, more hexagons for which you can place your hexes. So that's the basic rules of the game. It's quite a simple game, but we will do a couple more demos just so you can really get the understanding. So let's play a piece right there. And this AI is quite good. Quite good. And so he's won already again. And so let's turn down the difficulty a bit so it's just not as hard for us. We are getting quite the match here. And so this AI is not only connecting, as you can see, he's not only connecting his own board, but he is also blocking my pieces at the same time. So let us play again. Well, that was a bad move. Let's start out with the middle here. We want to get to red while also blocking our opponent. We want to block our opponent while we want to block our opponent while preventing him from connecting his pieces. Now notice, if I block this entire edge, oh well, he was smart there. But if I place a piece there, I win, I connect it. And so if you can somehow block the entire edge, your opponent cannot win. And so that's just something to keep in mind. We're going to try to connect our piece while at the same time placing a piece here to block our opponent. Place a piece here at the same time blocking our opponent. And look, we ended up connecting. So it's quite a simple game, but it's also quite fun. And so let us just play one more round, see how it is. And so this AI has effectively cornered us and he has won. And so we'll try one more round, I guess, but you essentially get the gist of the game. Not too hard of a game. But our opponent is doing quite a good job of blocking us here. And so he has connected it. So that's basically it for the game, guys. It's quite a simple game to pick up, hard game to master, and it's quite fun as well. That's it.